everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you all joining me today. Life coaches are really, really needed. The more I interact with people, hear people's stories, do research, listen to stories even on YouTube and different things like that, I'm realizing that people need life coaches more than they even realize. So 3 tips on what it takes to become a successful coach. So this broadcast will really help you also, and these are things that I learned and I am still learning. The first thing is, the important thing is you must have open communication, not only with the person that you're going to be coaching with. You have to have an open communication with yourself. You have to take time to learn who you are. Who are you? What do you want with your life? Okay, be honest with who you are as an individual. No pretending, because people can pretend and they can maybe go on and do coaching, but they're not being totally honest with who they are. So it's important to be honest with who you are and with other people. I found that before I decided to do the course with LSN and become a life coach, I spent a lot of time working on me and who I was and who I am as an individual and what I felt that God wanted to do with my life. So I took a lot of time working on myself so that I could be honest with who I am. Before I actually did the course with Life Strategies Now, I think maybe it's a year now or 18 months, I'd actually been working on myself for about 6 years before I actually came and did the course. I'm not saying that, everybody has to take that long to work on themselves, but that is very, very important. And the learning and the working on yourself, you have to understand, this is my second point, lifelong learning must be part of who you are as a life coach. The first thing is to be honest, to have open communication, no pretending, be honest with who you are. And the second thing is that you must realize that lifelong learning is going to be part of what it is to be a coach, because people's situation change, you're going to change. The person that I am today, I'm not going to be that same individual on the 30th of September 2018. I'm going to evolve and I'm going to change. Thanks, Coach LaMonica. Thank you very much for that. And I'm going to change. So you must be a person who is constantly evolving, willing to learn. You've got to read, you've got to research, you've got to really be able to understand people. And one of my tips for really being able to understand people and to have open communication and do so many things is that I'm a student of YouTube. I might not get to meet everybody that I would like to meet, but I can go on YouTube, listen to people's stories. I follow certain people on there, people with certain situations, family situations, and I listen and I watch and I learn from them. So take advantage of what social media advantages that we do have in order to keep yourself growing. Okay, so the first thing is open communication. Be honest with yourself and who you are. And the second thing is that you have to be a lifelong student. And the third thing is that you have got to have listening skills. You have got to be more of a listener than a talker. Because with coaching, you do a lot of listening. Because most of the hour or whatever you're going to do with that individual is you asking the questions and the person sorting out and speaking the answers for themselves. You may know the answer, but you can't tell them that. They have to work it out for themselves. And when they work it out for themselves, it will stick with them more. So you have to have listening skills. You've got to be able, they might be saying A, B, and C, but actually behind that A, B, C, and D, there's an X, Y, Z somewhere. So your questioning of the A, B, and C needs to be such that you can pull out what is already inside of them through your questioning. Okay, so you have got to be a listener. You've got to be able to be in another person's corner. And the thing is, you have to love people. You have to have the desire to want to see people move on from A to point B. I mean, there's somebody that I'm working with at the moment, and I've been working with that person now for quite a while, but I'm now beginning to see changes in that individual, and it is very, very encouraging. So you begin to see the changes, you can see the mindset begin to shift and everything. So as well as having the listening skills, you've got to have the patience to be able to work with people. So the first thing is open communication. Be honest with yourself and with who you are, and the ability to be honest with people. Number two, you have got to be a lifelong learner, constantly evolving. You have to watch people, you have to research, you have to be a reader, so that the content that you deliver, that it will bless and minister to people. Okay, and the third thing is you've got to have listening skills and patience. Okay, Rome wasn't built in a day, and your client may have, let's say your client might be 40 years old. That person, you're working with this person who's got 40 years that you have to try and work through in terms of your questioning of them. So be patient and have very good listening skills. So I hope that was really helpful to you. So thank you so much for joining me. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.